Supporters are calling on Christie Sides and Lin Dunn to resign from the Fevers.
I won 13 and now we won 20. And so I'm real pleased with the progress that we've made, the talent that we have, the job that the coaches and the players did this year.
After the game, Lin Dunn allegedly made a joke about a third game in Indiana with his kid that enraged Clark fans.
The GM in Connecticut, and I said, Darius, let's go back to Indy. Let's have one game in Indy. He said, there is no way I'm going to do anything to allow my team to get out of this arena. And I said, well, I don't blame you. I said, because we will have 19,000 people ready for you. And he said, I don't want to go back to Indy. But our players deserve a chance to play.
Christie Sides is the worst coach I've ever seen blow a 30-point lead. Since Caitlin assisted or scored on 50% of your offense, she ought to be dismissed. But when they make it a two-possession game, you take her off the ball and don't run anything for her.
Because of the new reset timeout, Indiana has not yet used. Chicago.
Never wanted her to not be aggressive and take shots. I really thought when she went out in transition after that free throw, I thought she was gonna take it to the rim or pull up right there. That would have been a great shot for her, for our team.
An important contributor to the Fever's success has been Caitlin Clark. Even nevertheless, the majority of individuals believe Christie Sides is no longer the most qualified applicant for the job. Everything appeared to go as planned, notwithstanding a few apprehensive moments they shared until the end of the season. Christie was therefore less talked about. But now that Indiana has just advanced to the first round of the playoffs, questions need to be raised.
There were times that people felt like Christie didn't have a great relationship with Caitlin. They were calling for Lisa Bluter to come back in, or who should coach her, calling for her job to be fired, etc.
Given that the Aces have a pivotal game coming up during this period, analysts have stated that they think it is unjust that A.A. Wilson isn't getting as much attention as Caitlin.
A'ja Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? And why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why exactly? Why when A'ja was releasing a shoe, were we talking about Caitlin Clark?
There are growing calls for Lin Dunn to step down as general manager and for Christie Sides to be replaced as head coach. These feelings stem from a series of questionable decisions and missed opportunities that have left supporters frustrated and players without the motivation they need to succeed. First and foremost, we need to deal with the major problem. Christie Sides made some questionable choices over the season, and some of the outcomes are self-evident. Even if wins and losses do provide a picture, there is more to it than that. It concerns the way she has been managing pivotal situations during games. Timeouts, for instance, are an essential tool for any coach to retake control of the game, but Sides haven't been making good use of them. How many times have we seen a team simply let them play through a fever that has caught them in a tough place without calling a timeout? It's quite perplexing.
Let's talk about the person who has the hardest job in the WNBA, and it's Christie Sides. You know why? Because having the #1 recruit and the person who is being credited for largely transforming fandom, viewership, sales, everything in the WNBA, and then having a 1-8 start, that's a tough job to take on as a second-year coach, only having 1 year under your belt as a head coach, and now you've got to coach the #1 draft pick that everybody thinks has to be successful or not.
And it's not just that. The choices Sid has made about replacements have also been a major cause of irritation. Caitlin Clark played basketball nearly as much as players in the NBA. However, we too often see her dragging men who are simply starting to settle into a rhythm or leaving people who are clearly struggling. Her instincts are odd, to put it nicely, and one can't help but question if this plays a significant role in the Fever's inconsistent season titles.
Championships. And so to be able to see this team go in the 3-year period from 5 to 13 to 20, sold out arenas, not only at home, but on the road, it means the world to me.
This brings us to Caitlin Clark, who has been nothing short of outstanding this season, in relation to supporting players. She is a talented player who has led this squad to heights they would not have been able to reach without her. However, it's questionable if Christie Sides is truly giving her the support she needs. Clark's intelligence is undeniable, but she needs a coach who knows when to step in, when to protect her, and when to make decisions that will put her in the best possible position to succeed. Sadly, both sides have had difficulty in that regard, and there is growing consensus that, with the correct guidance, the Fever could be achieving much more. Christy Sid's inability to manage timeouts, substitutions, and overall game strategy suggests that she might not be the greatest match for the squad.
If you're the team with the worst defensive rating in the league and you know you need a good defender, how do you not play her, then waive her? While it's frustrating, I'm not too surprised. It's been a common theme lately to see high draft picks get waived or cut earlier in their careers in the W. We saw it a lot last season, especially in training camp. This is a huge L for the Fever.
Let's be honest. Caitlin Clark has been the main contributor to this team's success this year. Caitlin has been the glue, the engine, or whatever you want to call everything that has kept this team running, whether it was making clutch plays, draining threes, or handing out assists. Let's be honest for a minute. Even if Christy Sides has been getting a lot of credit for the team's success, the majority of the labor was done by Caitlin. Clark has done everything without her when under pressure. It's hard to think the Fever would have advanced to the playoffs at all, much less competed as well as they did.
Sensational in her own right. She's going to be a superstar in this league for years to come. She's clearly the rookie of the year. She's deserving of being an MVP candidate, even though she's behind Asia Wilson. And the Indiana Fever going to be in the playoffs.
Let's be honest. Caitlin Clark has been the main contributor to this team's success this year. Caitlin has been the glue, the engine, or whatever you want to call everything that has kept this team running, whether it was making clutch plays, draining threes, or handing out assists. Let's be honest for a minute. Even if Christy Sides has been getting a lot of credit for the team's success, the majority of the labor was done by Caitlin. Clark has done everything without her when under pressure. It's hard to think the Fever would have advanced to the playoffs at all, much less competed as well as they did handled, or more accurately mishandled, during the season. Prior to joining the Fever, Christy Sides had no prior head coaching experience. Indeed, coaching high school is part of that. Fever has a promising future, but as long as Sides are in control, it won't reach its full potential. Additionally, Lin Dunn still stands at her side. Because when it counted most, Clark, the team's clear MVP, wasn't protected or defended. The fans' demands for change are valid. Lin Dunn must carefully consider this team's coaching staff if the Fever hope to win a championship. Caitlin Clark deserves a coach who can help her play better, keep her safe on the court, and make the right decisions when it matters most.
Coach in the locker room, we're down 3 first quarter, down 5 second quarter, and then lost by 3 in the third. We were right there, and I felt like we just played a crappy game.
It's challenging since Caitlin Clark has been the Fever's lone bright spot during an otherwise crazy season. They have come this far because of her. The reason Fever fans had any optimism at all, to be honest. This season, Clark has frequently proven her doubters wrong, and she has done it in a spectacular way. She not only defeated Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year, which was fair, but she also dominated so thoroughly that there was no opportunity for disagreement. The impact of Caitlin Clark cannot be denied. Her ability to take charge has also been nothing short of extraordinary.
I know that, as you've been saying, it takes time, it takes, connection, chemistry, effort, and just helping those people gel. And I love what is going on in the Indiana Fever organization. And whoever was going to be the coach of this young lady in the pros was going to probably have that journey. And I think I'm going to say it, whether you agree with me or not in the comments, you were the right person for the job.
In addition, Clark has been breaking records all around. Just take a look at her assist record, which now places her over the tall Alyssa Thomas. Few players can match her twin threat of scoring ability and court vision. Caitlin Clark has been rewriting history in a stylish way for a very long time. Particularly as a rookie, there were concerns on her capacity to play at this level. However, she has not only stepped up to the challenge, but also surpassed all expectations. The influence Clark has had on the Indiana Fever and the WNBA as a whole has been recognized by game legends like Cheryl Swoops. It's time for everyone to acknowledge Caitlin's contributions to the game. Naturally, some people, like Angel Reese, continue to insist that their season had a bigger influence. However, her numbers and leadership on the court speak for itself when comparing the two Clark accomplishments.
If I am Rookie of the Year, God, thank you. If I'm not, back to the drawing board, and I just want to win.
It appears that some individuals need to include a disclaimer before they can recognize Caitlin Clark's excellence. Whether people want to acknowledge it, she has actually worked as a game share. She has set the standard so high that they really couldn't have accomplished it without her guidance, presence, and unquestionable talent. Then there are the media analysts, such as Molly Cum, who were first dubious, but are now starting to acknowledge their mistakes with Caitlyn.
I'm going to give Caitlyn her flowers because I think what she has done coming into this league absolutely has brought more eyes, whether you like them or not, but has brought more eyes, more marketing. Like, people just want to watch the game and they want to talk about it. Even those that don't know anything about it, they talk about it. And I'm not going to give Caitlyn her flowers without giving you your flowers.
Additionally, her impact on the WNBA is immeasurable. Fans aren't merely watching because they support the Fever or the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, who has developed into the type of athlete that goes above and beyond the sport to draw fans and break viewership records throughout the season, is the reason people are watching. Her dynamic playing style, on-court personality, and ability to change the game in an instant make her an athlete that is truly captivating to watch. In a manner that very few athletes can match, she has grown her fan base, attracted new viewers, and made headlines. Caitlin Clark is a ratings machine, and her presence has been extremely beneficial to the league. However, there is significant worry about what will happen to the WNBA's viewership now that she is taking a break and won't be playing for 200 days. The WNBA needs players like Caitlin Clark, let's face it. Her departure will have a detrimental effect on the league's numbers because she has quickly established herself as one of its faces. Fans have already voiced their displeasure, with many saying that if Caitlyn isn't there, they won't be as interested in watching. Playing. This doesn't diminish the other exceptional players in the league, but it does highlight her influence.
What I'm saying, because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team out there.
Compared to the WNBA, the Indiana Fever are in an even more challenging situation. Apart from being the team's standout player, Caitlin Clark has become the team's, and maybe the league's face. Numerous things will be affected by her absence, such as the drop in audience size and the lack of enthusiasm and energy which surround the league team. The WNBA as a whole will suffer greatly without her because she brings a special kind of energy to the game. Her fans are passionate about Caitlin and have expressed their disappointment that she won't be performing for a while because of the close relationship she has built with them in such a short amount of time.
You guys are putting too much heat on Angel.
Yeah. And you know what? We live in such a world of love at the same time, because if we look at Paige Beckers and Gigi Watkins at the same time, them two love each other. Do you know what I mean? Angel and Caitlin, there's no hate between the two either.
Yeah.
But people are making things into something that is not.
As a result of Dunn's decision to keep Christy Sides as head coach, the Indiana Fever are undoubtedly at a turning point, and fans are wondering where the team is going, particularly with a player like Caitlin Clark at the forefront. This team has relied heavily on Clark, who merits further assistance. She has demonstrated her status as a superstar on numerous occasions. Superstars must, however, be surrounded by the proper leadership and atmosphere in order to flourish. Furthermore, there are significant questions regarding the future of the Fever given Lin Dunn's ongoing support of her. Now that Caitlin Clark is at her best, it's time to surround her with a squad of champions. And having the appropriate coach in place is the first step. Should Caitlin Clark, she needs a coach who can match her drive, skill, and will to succeed if she is to lead this squad to a title. Since Christy Sides hasn't proven herself to be that coach, it's time for her to be dismissed and for Lin Dunn to step down. Furthermore, it is becoming more difficult to defend Lin Dunn's dedication to her. The moment has arrived for tough choices. Indiana runs the risk of losing the faith of their whole fan base in addition to Caitlin Clark's if they don't make these adjustments. Please subscribe and leave a like if you liked it. There are now more videos visible. Caitlin Clark deserves the finest, but she isn't receiving it at the moment. The Fever have They are in possession of a generational talent, and they cannot afford to spend her finest years with a coach who does not encourage her or provide her with the best opportunity for success.
She's not really quiet a lot of the times, but when she does get that way, you can think, maybe I need to, just look in on her for a bit. And, she's human, right? And she has endured a lot this season and has handled it in the most professional way.